You know, guys, a lot of the time when we talk about gaming journalists, when we talk about developers, when we talk about the AAA scene or whatever, we talk about these from a light of people that don't like you, right? They don't like you. They can't stand you. They hate you. They hate your guts. They hate everything about you. For some reason, they're still in the industry, and yet they keep making video games for customers who they hate. They keep writing articles for customers they hate. These are people that are just hate-filled people. That's really what they are, and they try to pass it off as if the hate is virtuous. They try to say, oh, they're the virtuous one, and you're the chud. You're the one that's a bigot. You're the one that's a whatever. That's what they do all the time. Well, we got a prime example, and this is not the first time we've showcased this guy's article, and we're going to do it again just to keep the information out there for people who are wanting to consume that kind of information. But we got another article from Mike Druckner. Now, if you're not understanding who Mike Druckner is, he's an extremely angry on the inside individual, and he's wrote a sarcastic article that he thinks is so incredibly intelligent with a headline that reads, "I'm worried the robot in Astrobot isn't attractive enough for me to enjoy." Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, he is going to go on the offensive, and he's going to try to reference, or sarcastically reference anyway, the controversy and the conversation that was surrounding Stellar Blade. Not only that, he's misrepresenting the conversation that was surrounding Stellar Blade, and he's one of those people that thinks gamers just want something to fap to. That's the kind of attitude that he has when it comes to clients that he's trying to sell an article to. So let's get into this article from The Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now let's read what he has to say. And again, this is all sarcastic, so keep this in mind. A lot of people in my feed are talking about Astrobot, and for good reason. Every review I've read had mentioned glorious gameplay that turned simple moments of discovery into gifts of pure wonder. It reminds me of the games of my youth, something I'd open on Christmas morning and rush to load into the system. While many other companies may have relegated traditional platformers to the dumpster of history, here, as far as I understand, Sony proves that Nintendo doesn't have the monopoly on simple, light fun. Unfortunately, I'm probably never going to experience that fun firsthand because I'm worried about the robot in Astrobot isn't attractive enough for me to enjoy. Now, again, he starts off perfectly fine, right? You could have made an actual gaming news article, right? Which I know is very difficult for you guys to do. You could have made an actual gaming news article talking about Astrobot. But you knew you probably weren't going to get any clicks for it because this is the only way you could get clicks for it, right? It's amazing how the people who try to call us rage baiters are the ones who put out articles like this, right? And it's not just Mike Druckner, Alyssa Mercante, all these people, Ash Parrish, they put out articles that have extremely divisive headlines because they're trying to get people to click the article. And then when they click it, they get culture war stuff, right? Like, you guys complain about culture war all the time, and yet in the first fucking paragraph, your entire article devolves into culture war stuff because you end up wanting to talk about Astrobot. This is what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about Astrobot. But then you make it into something about the chuds because at the end of the day, we run this shit, right? You guys are so fucking pathetic that you don't realize that no matter how much you attack us, no matter how much you try to make us seem like the enemy, we're not. The only thing that you are doing is making us more successful. That's the only fucking thing that you are doing. We are not making you more successful because you end up getting laughed at and roasted because at the end of the day, you, the modern audience, is not anywhere close to the majority. We have the actual fans behind us, and I'm one of the smallest accounts out there. So imagine some of the bigger accounts out there. You guys are not even fucking close, and this is why you end up coping and seething and writing articles like this because they're basically therapy for you, right? These articles are therapy for you to help you deal with your inner turmoil about how gamers are just destroying your fucking existence. It says, I'm sure you're going to tell me that the robot in Astrobot isn't designed to be attractive to normal people. The robot is supposed to be a non-human metal automation with big eyes and the ability to hover. While its in-game behavior isn't meant to anthropomorphize this robot, I'm mad there is explicitly no way to kiss it, which honestly is the problem. No lips alone would normally not be a deal breaker, but a lack of mouth means it's harder for me to draw fan art that should make the police search my laptop. And don't get me started on the robot's chin. Why make the character with a wide rectangular jaw when you can make it pointy like the android in Svedka Vodka ads that I was asked to stop stealing from bus stations? Again, He's making a reference over the woke creation of women and how women are being purposefully made unbelievably fucking ugly in the West. And he's trying to downplay the argument by being sarcastic about it. Again, this is the person who works for a website called The Gamer, okay? That's what makes this unbelievably fucking ironic. Somebody who works for The Gamer is inherently anti-gamer. He's 100% not even a gamer to begin with. I would guarantee it. Maybe that's my point. Just because Astrobot was introduced a long time ago doesn't mean his design isn't woke now and can't use modernization. Yes, I admit, many robots in the real world aren't attractive at all. But this is a video game. It's an art form in which you could do anything. And by do anything, I mean it's an art form in which the people making it have to specifically do it the way I want, when I want, or I'm going to squeal that I've been abandoned like a baby bird on the sidewalk. Side note, I once put on Steel Magnolias because the word steel is cool, and threw a Wii remote through my television when I realized it wasn't made for me. There wasn't even a warning screen like there is before old cartoons. It just threw me in. Daryl Hannah scared me. I've never been more depressed. Now, guys, this entire article is a literal cope and seethe, okay? I want you to understand something, Mike Druckner. You can sit up here all you want. You can try to pretend to be on a high horse. That's perfectly fine. You have the right to do so. But you are full of shit, okay? You're going to sit up there and try to say gamers get angry when things aren't made for them. But then you get angry when gamers do not show up for products that aren't made for them. Right? Like, you get angry. People like you get angry all the time when games like Concord fail, right? Whose fault is that? Concord failing, whose fault is that? Oh, let me guess. You're going to blame the chuds. You're going to blame all the YouTubers talking bad about it. What about you guys? Where's the modern audience? Why didn't you play the game? Why didn't you support the game? Why didn't you promote the game heavily and show that you paid for it and stream that you played it? Oh, you don't play games. I got it. Listen, man, at the end of the day, you can talk about gamers all you want. You can make it seem as if gamers are just angry chuds who want something to fap to. But guess what? Even if they were angry chuds who want something to fap to, those angry chuds who like to fap to shit, they got the money. They have the power. You don't have shit. They have all the fucking power. And they are the reason why this stuff is failing, in the sense that they're not buying it. And you're making sure that they don't. So ultimately, it is your fault. It is all your fault. If you're making video games for the modern audience and the modern audience doesn't fucking exist, then you cannot bitch and complain when they fail. You could talk about gamers bitching and complaining all they want, but they're the ones who spend the money. They're your customers. You're over here writing an article on a website called The Gamer, and you're attacking gamers. Make that shit make sense. So don't tell me that Astrobot can't be an attractive robot woman, rather than one we call he, despite him not having any male genitalias. As far as I thoroughly checked with the game camera in previous installments, the artists have the technology to make Astrobot look and sound like a silver Sydney Sweeney or a platinum My Mom after Jazzercise in 1991. The fact that they're not doing this shows a disregard for me, even though every single aspect of the game is something I would love. If I hadn't poisoned my mind endlessly looking for enemies, I could be enjoying this game right now if they weren't so weird and I wasn't so normal. Bro, you could try all you want. You could try with your sarcasm to make it seem as if gamers are the problem, but they're not. You're the problem. You are the problem 100%. Because even if your ideology was right, guess what? You don't even have the ability to support it. You don't have the numbers. You don't have the financials. None of you guys have the ability to support the shit that you say that you want. So sure, make fun of gamers all you want. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. But ultimately, you still fail. You still have to walk down the street with the massive L over your head over the last 30 days of multiple modern audience projects that have been canceled, all because the modern audience didn't show up. That is not the gamer's fault. That is your fault. And this entire article is coping and seething over the fact that you have to live with that accountability. You do. You can't hide it. The numbers don't lie. As much as you want to pretend to be the majority and be the oh so normal, right? Because this is what the sarcastic article is trying to really tell you, is that they're normal and we're not normal, right? So that's fine. You could be Mr. Normal. But where the fuck are all the other Mr. Normals? Where are they? Is the world just not normal at this point? Is that what you're trying to say? No matter how you try to spin it, you're the failure here. It doesn't matter. You've lost. You continue to lose. And you know what's funny? Again, they try to tie themselves to Baldur's Gate 3 for many different reasons. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of what we try to fight against every single day when they try to call Baldur's Gate 3 woke. And I know people on our side call Baldur's Gate 3 woke. I don't agree with that, okay? Because RPGs in general have always been able to give you the ability to make whatever the fuck you want and just run with it, right? So we can have that conversation in another video. But what I will say Even if Baldur's Gate 3 was woke and that was your win, why do you have so many losses? You're okay with having one win, but over 100 losses? You really want to sit there as if that's a fucking win in of itself? You're pathetic. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.